Hello and welcome back to another game on Arena 1v1 between Villese and Slam. It's a Byzantines war, and to not only have Slam, because I got a lot of recorded game files from him, not only have Slam's build orders, I want to see how Villese is doing this, what he is going to do in Dark and Feudal Age, and then how the game is going to turn out. We have Villese going out with a scout. He's going to find the sheep. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's going to find all his sheep really early on. He has 4 ibex close to the gate, 2 boars forward, but they're not so far away, and I think Villese, knowing that he's a top expert, he's probably going to start and lure those ibex in really early on, which is actually happening. So it's going to be probably 6 villagers underneath the TC, and then it's going to go 4 on wood, pretty standard here. We have the main gold for him on the side, second gold forward, the main stone on the side here, quite safe, and he's going for that second sheep, but is also hitting that ibex with 2 villagers. He's sending them now, and he's sending the next villager to wood, pretty standard here. So we're gonna see Villese gonna go with a lot of early food here, with a lot of fast food early on from these ibex. That sheep and 30 food, but I think the villagers will go for the ibex next. And is he going to take sheep here, or is he going completely? Yeah, that's good. So he's not going to take sheep for now. He is going to lure all those ibex in, which is really good for him, as he's going to have a lot of fast food income. Sending 4 villagers to wood, pretty standard. And I imagine the next villager will actually, going to boar. So it's not going to go with more villagers on the ibex, but instead is getting that first boar in, like if he was taking sheep and not ibex or deer here. And first boar not getting taken. We have a lot of food left on that one, actually. That's like 75 now. So sending 2 villagers here, but pretty standard as well. Going with the next villagers to take the berries. So it's got 7 villagers underneath the TC. The next 4 are on berries and 4 on wood. Pretty standard, except for the fact that he's already out for scouting at minute 5, and even before, because he took 4 of those ibex already. So he's got a lot of fast food income. There's 2 more, only 3 villagers on that boar. It's gonna hurt a little bit. He's not gonna get as much food from that boar, and not as much food from the ibex as he would if he was taking sheep before. But I think this will be alright, because it's not about how many free food you get, but it's mostly about how fast you can get your food in. We have another villager moving forward to probably build a house then. Yes, on 18, and the villager here is obviously getting the boar in, while 140 is left on the boar. Now that's something I don't really like. I think he should have gone with that villager before taking the boar. Could have gone for, I guess this one is going to go for another wood line, but it seems alright. And what is she going to do here? Once she's finished with the house, you might see her go to wood, we might see her go to berries. Looks like she's going to be a lumberjack, and I think Villese shift queued that, or command queued that, I'm not sure how it's called. That's really nice to see. Now there is 8 villagers underneath the TCs on the 2 boars here, and he's going with a second lumber camp. 2 villagers now from boar getting to farm, so only 6 villagers left. Not quite sure about that. I think he should have used maybe those 2 villagers to go for farms, and then send the other villagers to woodline, because you want to get that food income. You have 6 sheep left, and those 6 sheep gonna be taken by like 6-7 villagers. Now he's going to put another one to boar here, so it's gonna take quite some time, and I'm not quite sure how much food he's gonna have at the end of Feudal Age. Now he's got 8 plus 2, 10 villagers working on the food underneath the TC, or around the TC, and 4 on the berries. He's got 3 villagers on that second lumber camp, and he's already going with a villager to go for gold here. It's going to be 2 or 3 bills. It's a tell sign for loom, actually. As we've seen before, we have a second villager going there, which makes sense, and looks like he's not going to queue another bill here. Are we going to see the Feudal Age queued up? He's of course scouting all the time, something you should not miss out, but it's not easy to do so. It's a lot of practice, of course. And that last villager did go to build a house here, actually. So 2 villagers on gold, and we have 7 villagers, 7 on the sheep here. Villese has a lot of scouting information already. Both players are up to Feudal Age, and Villese therefore has more score. I think his scouting should be better than Slam's here. I'm not quite sure, I cannot see it, but would be the reasonable explanation. We have 4 and 3, 3 and 4, no, actually 5. How did that villager get there? Maybe from the farm, something I missed. No, that was the one from the house here, actually. So I had 5 villagers on that lumber camp all along, therefore only 3 here on the other lumber camp, and 7 villagers on the sheep. Another house coming up, so it's going to have 35 pop space, and as you can see, half halfway to feudal age, only 350 food, and that's not really a lot. He is sending the last villager to take food from the berries as well, but when you have the boar and then go to sheep and deer, you have more villager working time on food in total. And I think it could be tough for him to actually get all the food in that he wants to get up to castle age. Then again, he's only 300 behind and he's queued up the 2 villages already. He's got 5, how many is it in total? 5, 9, 14 villages on food, and he actually should be fine here. He's sending the wood villagers to build a market in blacksmith, which makes sense here. He's got a lot of wood in the bank still, 250 roughly, so he could go for whatever he wants, could go for barracks, stable if he really wants to. And we have the first villager going to wood, the second probably 2, and 690 food in the bank. He should be fine here. He is scouting Slam's walls now with the feudal age scout. Of course, he has more vision here, and the village is also going back. So castle age coming in, 729 is garrisoning, and he's dropping food. Farmers waiting a little bit, going for loom now, which I don't really like. I think he should have clicked up the castle age now. He had the food, but then he decided, okay, it's going to take too long. I'm going for loom. I'm taking the time. It's not a big problem. But maybe without loom he could have done a little bit better. Then again, same castle age click time. Slam has 1 more villager. Villese went for loom. All fine here, I guess. 5 villagers on 1 lumber camp, 6 villagers on the other, and still the 6 villagers underneath the TC. While Villese, of course, can see almost everything there is to see on the map. Now, looks like Slam was not on patrol, therefore he went away here. And Villese didn't want to chase down the scout. Doesn't really make sense. 2 more farms coming up, as Cross Color probably was done already, and only now double buildings coming in, but he's got the food that he needs. He had enough wood, so he didn't need to go for double buildings first, which is what you're usually doing, obviously. And I think we can now go to see third gold as well here outside, second stone outside. What about Slam's map? Main gold on the side, second gold safe in the back, second stone safe in the back, the main stone forward, third gold on the right hand side is outside. Relics might be important here. They're all around Vilese's base, not really directly, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, forming a nice triangle somehow. Slam is the one who is going for scouts here. I'm not sure if Villese can see this. Also sending a spearman. So it looks like Slam wants to go for those relics. They're going to be up to castle age at almost the exact same time. Villese had a lot of resources in the bank. Now the scout fight is happening, and of course Villese is saying, oh, my opponent is going for scouts, I need to run away, and I cannot just go for the relics without any fight here. So it's going for 2 TCs, 1 on the woodline and main gold, 1 on the woodline and that main stone, small woodline here, but it's all good here. And it looks like he's gonna skip the monastery, which is interesting. He knows Slam should be able to get all the relics in. Slam has the monastery up, TC coming up on the main gold and the woodline here. Another TC following on the woodline only now, but that's alright, as Slam of course invested into an additional field age building and into scouts and knights, so he needed more farms. Villese is going for the boom here, and it looks like the 3 TCs are up and running. He's got 14 farmers already, which almost should be enough to keep villager production going. Was a really nice build order. He should have gone a little bit earlier, but I think he's quite fine here. And the question is Slam going to boom as well, or are you going to see some aggressive play for him? We're gonna see the 3 TCs obviously. But as he has military units on the field and is getting all the relics in, I think he might want to go for a siege workshop or some aggression here. I like the lineup from TCs. When you look at the minimap, you can see that everything is on that line here, and of course the houses to actually reinforce these walls looking quite dubious, but also pretty strong. Slam sending a villager forward as expected. He's got 5 relics, he's gonna have them very soon. The knight getting chased down by a snow leopard, no problem. And villager building a house. Are we going to see a siege workshop very soon? I'm expecting to see it. There we go. And Slam, of course, also with the mini boom here. As Villese is ahead by 1 villager. Slam only now doing wheelbarrows. I guess Villese is ahead by a little bit more. He's going for defensive siege workshop, which is also one of the castle age building that he needs. The university also up. So once he has the resources, he can actually click up to the Imperial Age. And he's going for a barracks. I imagine we are going to see crossbow arbalest. Would make a lot of sense here. With a fast Imperial Age, as Villese is aiming to do. The Arbalest opening is one of the best you can get, and he's clicking up around minute 23, a little bit after, going for double arch range immediately. Slam in the meantime has 1 mangonel now, he's starting to attack the walls. He's got 1 knight, he's going for a monastery here, so this is a delayed smash. Villese in the meantime is going forward on that second gold. I'm not quite sure about that one. I guess he wants to take it as long as possible. Now he's got a defensive mangonel. Does Slam have redemption? Very important question. He's going for a castle, but I was a little bit too far forward. needs to put it a little bit more to the back here. 1 for 1 on the mangonels, which is fine. Slam is also way up to Imperial Age actually, so it's not far behind here. Villese has done crossbowman upgrade with +1. Botkin are probably on the way, as well as the first defense upgrade. And still, 1 mangonel, that's a new one obviously, to defend the front of his base. He has an 82 villagers, Slam on 71 now only. This is big, because Villese is gonna have a way better economy. Slam is doing redemption now. He's got a castle up, and Villese also on stone. Where's that main stone? Yeah, with that TC, he has enough stone for a castle. Delayed that castle a little bit to go for Arbalest first. I imagine we should see the Arbalest upgrade coming in soon. Then again, he doesn't have a lot of resources. Going for Elite Skirmisher first. Interesting choice. Not sure why, maybe against the monks. First trebuchet out for Slam to hit that castle. Of course, the first counter trap also on the way. And a mangonel to possibly hit that trebuchet. No, actually, Villese is saying, Slam is saying, I'm going back here. I don't want to fight that mangonel with the trebuchets, and it's going to take too much HP. So it's 2 against 1 at this point, but Villese has the army. And I think the army numbers should be better for him. 23 against 13. He's got an army that can kill monks. Skirmishers also on the field from Slam. I imagine Elite Skirmisher coming in. Upgrades for those crossbowmen, chemistry and bracer done. Only missing the Arbalest upgrade, which Villese almost can afford now. He went for chemistry, I guess, so he should be able to get some bombard cannons out, and there's the first one already, as we're speaking of that. Villese is attacking the castle with 2 trebuchets and a bombard cannon now, 6 with the repair villages. Villese actually lower on HP with the castle, but he has 10, so he should be able to repair that castle for quite some time. And we have a little bit of bombard cannon micro, as well as the Elite Skirmishers, crossbowmen, and of course castles and trebuchets. So we have an open fight. And this battle might decide the game already, as we have now 3 trebuchets for Villese, and one of Slam's trebuchets went down, I guess, to the bombard cannons. So now it's Villese with the better castle here, both on 6k 7 HP. That means no upgrades, I guess, but Slam's castle is losing a lot of HP. He needed to have more villagers forward, or he needed to be fast in taking down the castle from Villese. And like this, Villese has the army advantage, 26 against 18. He's got still no Arbalest, which is really surprising, but he's got a trebuchets and 3 bombard cannons. Doesn't even need to repair this castle now, and the castle from Slam is going down. So Villese probably is going to go forward, go against this forward now. I think Slam is going to lose everything here. Bombard cannons, of course, really quick in taking down buildings. The trebuchets hitting what's in their range, and that means no siege workshop forward. The monastery might go down, but more importantly, siege workshops and archer ranges, of course, dying here. A lot of elite skirmishers, so that's the current army composition we have from Villese. Elite skirmishers and siege. He did not go for Arbalest. Maybe now Thumbering on the way as well. And the bombard cannons moving forward while those archer ranges are not dying to the trebuchets. We have that monastery with the 5 verdicts very far forward. Could go down fast here. The bombard cannons hitting that already. And we have Slam without too much army here. He's got Hussar done, which is a very good counter to the skirmishers. But there's also Arbalest in the mix now. And Arbalest against Hussars, we know how good massed Arbalest are, even against the big group of Hussars here. Also bombard cannons could help out. And we have the first Hussars approaching this group, but they're not going for the bombard cannons, which they probably should have done. And then again, they would die even faster. Few villagers moving forward, not sure why that. Slam doesn't have the stone for a castle, so he's sending elite skirmishers. Maybe that was a misclick. I think he didn't want to go there. And Slam has a decent amount of resources in the bank, but he didn't have enough. Does he have a siege workshop even? I don't see any siege workshop, and that's bad, because we know how siege against no siege is going to end here. Check for Villese. Yeah, my hotkeys are working. He's got a lot of siege workshops also producing. Villages are dying. Hussars now trying to take care of those elite skirmishers, but the Arbalest doing really good damage here. Bombard cannons moving back a little bit. There's 2 forward siege workshops from Villese as well, and he's going for that forward castle to get more map control. The villagers now moving towards that extra stone and gold maybe, but the Arbalest can see those, so that means the villagers will go down. Actually, the bombard cannons should stay to the front in my opinion, but maybe he's saying, okay, let's follow up the villagers, then my bombard cannons are safe, I'm controlling my army here. And a few elite skirmishers or Arbalest that are forward, they're not really too important here. We have Slam in a troubling position. 95 villagers and numbers going down. Villese now transitioning into cap drums, possibly siege trim on the way very soon, as he is waiting for more food to come in, but he's also spending food on elite skirmishers, I imagine, and there's a good amount of arbalest now. Bombard cannons behind, the siege tram upgrade actually done, which I didn't see here, but he had it queued up already. Slam is opening the walls to get those hussars out, which are now trying to clear that army. Going for the elite skirmishers first makes sense, but the arbalest probably going close to the new castle. There is one castle here. There's a lot of arbalest on the field. That's 37, and the hussars are going to die to that. They have 2+4 defense, but no bloodlines for Byzantines, and therefore Villese is taking a quick win, 39-minute game. Very impressive to see that he won the castle fight, and then in the end easily took the game with arbalest, elite skirmishers, bombard cannons, trebuchets, and of course the siege trams to follow up. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next games. GG.